Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's look is going to be this golden, sultry, bronze, glam look, and I'm super excited about it. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So with that being said, without any further ado, without any further chit chat, we are going to get right into it. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so per usual, I started off with my eyebrows already done and my face prepped and primed with the same products I've used in the last two videos. So I took a Coastal Scents brush, and it's just an eyeshadow brush, and I went in with my Selfie by Makeup Revolution palette, and I took the brown and used it as a transition color. Here I'm showing you guys that although the brushes look the same, one is Coastal Scents and one is just an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. And I took that with the CoverGirl Cosmetics bronze or Queen Collection bronzer that I always use on my cheeks. And I just went in on the crease area just so my eye could have some depth no matter what color I put on top of it. So just to make my eye look a little, you know, deeper. So I'm taking that and I'm blending it into the transition color. And I don't know about you guys, but I always do my transition color first, just so I know how far to take up whatever color I'm putting on next. Now I'm taking an e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, and I am taking my Black Radiance blush in Warm Berry, and I'm just going to pat that in on my eye, kind of tapping it using a tapping motion, just so it like sticks, but it doesn't get too much pigment on there at one time. And you guys are gonna see me, of course, go back and forth because I'm trying to make sure that I have the right amount of product on each eye and they look the same. So that's what I'm doing. After this, I'm gonna go in with an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and my NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator in the color Gleam. And I'm gonna put it on my hand to kind of warm it up a little. And I'm just gonna take it right into, from the center, or from the beginning of my eye to the center. Not taking it too far over, just so you can still see a lot of that warm berry that I put on there. I also took this down into the inner tear duct. You guys are gonna see that coming up. Then I take an e.l.f. blending eye brush and I just blend the gold or the gleam and the berry in, just so it has like a smooth transition and no harsh lines. And then I'm taking this really cool product I randomly found at Walmart. It's a glitter single and it's by Wet n Wild, and the color is Solo Sicilian, and it's super dope. It goes really nicely with the illuminator. It kind of matches that, but it has a bit more of a pinky tone that I thought would have gone nice with the warm berry. So I just added that in, and I'm making sure to blend it out with that same blending eye brush. Smooth transition, ladies, smooth transition. You see? So cute. Then I'm gonna go into my inner tear ducts with this Wet n Wild. I felt like it wasn't pigmented enough, so I just picked it back up, and I'm taking the Coastal Scents flat eye brush, and it's just like the eyeshadow C brush by e.l.f., but just a little smaller. And I'm just using that to put it in there, and I bring it down like under my eye a little bit, guys. That little tear duct action. I go back in with the Warm Berry and the same Coastal or e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, and I put it under just so it kind of mimics the top. And I'm gonna do two things to line my eyes. You guys will see. Right now I'm taking that e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and I'm putting the Illuminator by NYX in there just so it can kind of mimic the eye, the top of the eye, and brighten up my eye. And I know I have big eyes, but I like them that way. So I am simply trying to make them pop a little more, make them open up a little more. Then I went off camera and I did my eyelashes. And now I'm just gonna go in because I felt like I looked a little not done. So I went in with the e.l.f. waterproof eyeliner. It's the gel eyeliner, just in black. And I lined the bottom of both just to, you know, bring the look more together. And then because I went over the black liner, or went over with the black liner, I felt like the blush disappeared a little bit, so I went back in with that. I'm gonna take today my beauty blender because I'm using the Fenty Beauty, and the Fenty Beauty is a little more matte and I don't want it to get too cakey, so I'm using that with my go-to Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour breathable foundation in deep mocha. You guys know that's my ride or die. And I mix it on my hand with a random Amazon brush just so I can spread it out a little bit more. But originally I didn't like the Fenty because the color was a little weird. It made me look like really, really red, but I wanted to try it again today because I feel like sometimes, you know, foundations can oxidize, and I feel like I was so mad the last time that it was red that I just didn't even pay attention if it oxidized or not, so I was just like, no. But now I'm taking my favorite e.l.f. brush. It's the ultimate blending brush that I use every time. It's just clean, but it's amazing. It's so smooth, it's so soft, guys. It's my favorite. Then I take it down my neck because, of course, I don't know how it's gonna turn out and I really want it to blend to my body, but it works. It's working so far. I was gonna say, and don't worry about that little spot. I always go back in and make sure it's all blended out. So that's what I'm doing. I sprayed the Urban Decay All-Nighter spray on the Beauty Blender just so it'll melt more into my skin. Took it down a little, shimmied a little. Then I go in today only with my Age Rewind foundation by Maybelline in the color Tan again. And that's the only one I use. I usually don't use this by itself because I sometimes feel like it's too bright. But I was like, you know what? We're going glam, so let's just do it. And I'm gonna take my other favorite brush, one of my favorite concealer brushes. It's the Morphe M173 brush, and I'm gonna blend out my chin while my under eye kind of sets in a little more. Let it dry a little bit. And yeah, I take my beauty blender, I take that brush, I make sure everything is perfect. And then I thought I was gonna use the Black Radiance Cream Contour Kit, but today I was like, no, Ruby Kisses, just because it gives me such a nice shadow and it blends so amazingly. But it's the Pure Mineral Concealer by Ruby Kisses, and it is in the color Caramel. So I take that over the places where I want to contour and whatnot. And I'm like super into it. I'm like, this is it. I am feeling it. Then my nose is always running. Like, my allergies are crazy when I'm doing my makeup. Then I take an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush and I blend that in. And you guys know how I feel about these brushes. And it was clean, of course. Then I feel like it's giving me a whole new cheek. Are we not here for the whole new cheek? Because we should be here for the whole new cheek. And don't worry, guys. If it doesn't look like I blended it in the first time, I'm always gonna go back. I'm always gonna double back, if not triple back, to make sure I'm blended in. So now that the highlight has got a little tacky and dried down a little, I'm gonna go in with that M173 brush by Morphe, and I'm gonna smooth it out. And I liked this brighter under eye a lot more than I anticipated. I was like, yes, girl, give like Hollywood eyes. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Then I went down my nose, and I really like how my nose came out. Like, it looks a little big right there, but when it comes out, when I put it out, it's gonna be awesome. And I take my Airspun powder, my Airspun translucent powder, like my new baby, and I take that same beauty blender that was already damp, and I go kind of heavy with this. And I go heavy this time because it's super glam and I want to look beat. I just felt like looking beat today. So I took it up, put it on, patted it down, put some more on, put it everywhere. And then I completely forgot about my forehead, but I went back in with the Age Rewind by Maybelline. And while that dried, I decided to set my contour just for the sake of time. So another big important thing of setting your contour, if I don't go back in with the Fluffy Flawless brush by e.l.f. to set my contour, then I'm gonna do it with the powder. So I'm blending at the same time as I'm setting. That's what the circular motions are for, so there's no harsh lines. And here I'm doing something I rarely do, which is like carve out my cheekbone a little more. But I was feeling it, I was feeling glam. I was like, why not? Let's do it. So I took some more of that translucent Airspun powder and put it down dragged it down my chin. Make sure it was everywhere else. Gave you guys a little smile. Then I took my Estee Lauder Edit bronzer in the color medium deep. And this stuff is amazing, guys. The Estee Lauder Edit line was pretty awesome. Like, I was pretty satisfied with it. I used one more product from them in this video. And then I took another super soft e.l.f. brush. It is the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush. And I went crazy with that bronzer. So it'll give me like a bit of a rosy kind of pink hue while carving out my head before I put on my blush. Then I took my favorite powder brush, and it was pointless because I obviously went back in to my concealer on my forehead, and I wanted to bake that again. I don't know, honey. Okay. Then she goes into her nose. That dance, I don't know where that dance came from. I don't know what's wrong with me half the time. Then I went in with the Ruby Kisses again. The Ruby Kisses was pretty awesome. And then I went in with the Flawless concealer brush, but I tried to be like clear about what I did. I like fold it down so it's like smaller. And look how it snatched my nose. And I just went in after that with my fingers so that it made a little bit more sense. It blended in a little more. Then I took the Infallible Matte Pro 16-hour foundation powder in the color 800 Cocoa, and I dusted off of all the places where I highlighted with that Airspun powder. Blend. And then make sure you have powder on your brush every time you're trying to sweep away powder, because powder sweeps away powder. I am just like dancing queen today. It's hilarious. Then I took a new product by Wet n Wild. It is their loose powder, their loose illuminating powder in the color All Glown Up. And honey, did it give me a glow. Like, this was like golden, bronzy, I don't even know. It was just amazingness. And I kept looking at it. I was like, is this real? I was feeling it. I'm telling y'all, I did a little dance. And my mistake, now I'm using the illuminator. The first time I used the blush, that same black Radiance blush, just so it can tie into the look, and I just put a little blush on my cheeks, but now I'm using the illuminator. And tell me the illuminator is not amazing. Is it not bomb? I put it on my cheeks, on my nose, and on my forehead. Everywhere where I seen light was hitting, I just put it right there so I can just glow all day. And then because it's loose, it kind of got a little everywhere. So I went back in with that Equate brush with the leftover powder that was on it, and I just blended it in. And this, for my bottom lashes, I used the Smashbox Super Fanned Out Mascara. And I just got in there as best I can. My lower lash line is really kind of like invisible. So I just wanted to give it a little color. So that's what I did there. And I actually like how it came out. It kind of made it a little bit more smoky for me. So I was happy about that.
Johnny T.
So here I am doing my lips, and I wanted a really nice berry toned lip. So I went in with my Wet n Wild eyebrow brush in dark brown. It's an old one, guys. I don't use it for my eyebrows anymore. And you know, I don't line my lips as much as my bottom, my top lip as much as my bottom, because my top lip is naturally lined. And I then took the Black Radiance Warm Berry Blush that I used on my eyes and my cheeks, and I'm using it as a lip tint. So I'm just using patting motions. And this is a really good tip for darker skin girls who just want like a flushed, nudish natural lip, because it doesn't do too much. It doesn't give you too much, but it gives you a nice color payoff. It gives you a nice tint. So I'm just building it up at this point. Like, if you wanted to stop there, you guys can stop, but I really want it like berry. So I'm actually going to grab my Artiste brush, and I'm gonna use that. It's the Artiste lip brush, and I'm gonna grab it and dip it in there just so I can have a lot more pigment. And I go in with it, honey. So you'll see how dark it's gonna get. It's just getting darker and darker. And I keep pressing my lips together to make sure everything is like even. I'm feeling it. Then I take my Estee Lauder Edit Lip Balm in Cocoa Berry, just to make it a lot more red. It's like a raspberry colored lip balm. It's like a tint. And then I go over top of that with my Hard Candy Lip Plumper in Second Base. And you guys know this has been like my recent favorite. Best drugstore nude ever. I need to go back and get more. And that is pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you guys a little pout so you can see the look. But that's all I do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time.
Are y'all ready for a real girl or what?